Hi, I'm Astrologer Penny Dix, and welcome to the monthly astrological forecast for the month of March 2026. But before we launch into whatever might be unfolding this month, how lovely to see so many of you here. And yes, there's so many of you at the moment. I can't answer everyone at once, but I know Shirley's here, Poonam, Keurik, Mimini, Liz the Iron Maiden, Simi, Joe Newell, Christine in Cyprus, who I am worried about you. We must send prayers and protection to Zil because she's in northern Israel. I did send her an email yesterday when it all kicked off, and she was able to reply, but and they were going to the shelter. So, well, Mars square Uranus. I rest my case. I think I don't know whether I said it publicly on videos or to clients, but I can't remember now. But I know I did. Might have been in the Wednesday Witter. I might have said something like, my sense was that if the president of the United States was going to attack Iran, it would be Friday or Saturday, and it may coincide with something else that's happening in the news that he didn't want us to focus on. So maybe that is as it is, or maybe it isn't, but it's interesting. Hello, Annabelle. Let's see. Fabrizio, good to see you. And yes, and a star, hi. And listen, guys, Christine, stay safe. I think where we are in Gozo and Malta, we're pretty safe. I don't know about flights in and out of Malta, interestingly. I haven't checked, but I would have thought we were far enough west to not really be touched by it. Although it has crossed my mind because I think I saw something on Facebook about there's an airbase. I don't know whether it's a US airbase or a UK airbase in Sicily, which is, of course, just 60 miles north of Gozo. And so that is, I think, a missile did head towards it. But what can we say? I think at this point, there's no point in speculating. Let's just say it is what it is. It's happening. It does fit in with the astrology, not just of the Mars square Uranus that was exact on Friday, but it also fits in with the Saturn Neptune in that 0 and 1 degree now of Aries, because symbolically and over the last probably 90, 100 years, when Saturn and Neptune have come together, it's coincided with the dissolution of a regime in some form or other. For it to be so almost exact, the date is extraordinary, because I would expect with these massive outer planet energies, the timing to be anything from a year ago all the way through to probably May, June, July of this year. But here we are in the midst of it. And Annabelle, we will be safe. Don't worry. Cosmic 3IA, good to see you here. We will be safe. We will be okay. That's a good idea, Simi. You've created a peace candle and you're burning it right now, so it protects us all. And you probably saw I posted on YouTube that I met the lovely Brenda Lee Lynch yesterday, who sometimes comes on the chat here as part of the Soul Fam. And she actually was visiting Gozo. She'd come to Malta for just a few days, and she said, I have to meet you. And I said, well, of course you have to meet me. And so we had coffee yesterday, coffee and croissant, chocolate croissant, in my village square. And she gives the best hugs, I have to tell you. She's a lovely lady, lovely. And We had lovely dialogue together, and I couldn't give her loads of time because I had a really busy day yesterday. But we did have fun, and it was just so lovely. And I said, I think on the YouTube post, I said I felt that the hug she gave me was a collective soul fam hug. So I'm saying thank you to all of you. Big hugs. So let's see what's going on here. The USA, please stop this war culture. Let the world alone, Fabrizio. I know. I think, the thing is, it is what it is. We're going through it. I don't think we're going to see imminent results. I think that could take a little bit longer, probably not till we get this stellium of 7 cosmic bodies in Aries in April. So I think we have to remember Mercury's retrograde at the moment. So we need to get past the retrograde. I think March is like a threshold month, though, and not just on the world stage, but also in our own lives. And the story I'm going to tell you later is about Persephone and the underworld, because I think it's a very appropriate story for March and this time of year, because Persephone's mother, Demeter, she is also known as Ceres in Roman mythology. And Ceres, of course, is the name that has been assigned to a dwarf planet. What's interesting is Ceres is currently in Aries. Not only that, it's conjunct Eris, who is about people going out on the streets and fighting and, shouting freedom, and also conjunct Chiron, our wounded healer. So that energy already in Aries is so supercharged. And that's what we're going to feel the build-up of as we get into the month of March. So let me see what you're saying. Oh, bless you, Kate Ulrich. Yes, I know. Kate, Kay is saying that not everybody in America wants war. Well, of course not. I mean, I don't think anyone wants war, not in any, it's just not something you go, oh, let's start a war today. No, of course it's not what we want. But it is what it is. Oh, Jim. Hello, Jim. Good morning. Yes, absolutely. And I think it's important to recognize that the US attack on Iran is something that it's doing in collaboration with Israel, and it actually doesn't even have, it hasn't been, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it didn't even go to Congress, or it hasn't actually been sanctioned by the US administration. It's just been arranged, done, and they're in. So, okay. So we have got quite a lot to get through tonight. I'll try and keep my eye on your chat as we go through. But I think that March is about, it's like Persephone. She's in March, at the beginning of spring. Persephone stands between the underworld and the earth. She's not fully in either place. And this is something of, I think, how we are going to experience the month of March, as if something in our lives is concluding, but that something else that comes in is not yet ready to be born. So let's just think about the main energies that are happening this month. And let's see what you're all saying. Christine, people have to understand the geopolitical history of the world. Consequences will ensue. Yeah, that's true. That is so spot on. Oh, right. Okay, Kay Ulrich, thank you. They're doing as they please despite even court decisions. You mean like the Epstein files? Exactly. It's the same problem, isn't it? Same old. Lenny, this is something that person has wanted to do since he came into power back in 2016. Right. Okay. So it's been a bit of a kind of bee in his bonnet. The person that wanted to end all wars is starting the mother of all wars at the moment. Cool. Right. Great. Got that. Oh, tariffs. Yes. Well, what can I say? But let's just have a think about the major energy of this month, because as you know, I will go through all of the very important points throughout the month as we have our Sunday lives and in our Wednesday Astro Witters. So the first probably significant thing that we need to talk about, apart from the fact that Mars actually goes into Pisces tomorrow, which is interesting. So it's going to move off that square to Uranus. So it will be interesting to see how Mars fares in Pisces. And, you know, we are now in Pisces season. Happy birthday to all my little oceans of emotions out there. And of course, conscious medium Brandon Russ, it's his birthday today. So in case you're watching or listening later, Brandon, a very happy birthday to you. Happy solar return. May you have a blessed year ahead. And let's have a quick, by the way, the Virgo eclipse, I still haven't had a chance to record it, but I am going to do it tomorrow. So I will record it tomorrow and upload it tomorrow. And I will do it so that I can screen share and show you the chart. And so the Virgo eclipse really is a little bit like Persephone in the underworld, sorting out the underworld seeds. And I'll come to what that means later on. And we have a Pisces new moon, of course, this month. And really Pisces, and maybe this is a little bit of Mars going into Pisces, is about how we need to surrender to what needs to dissolve. Now, if we look at what's going on the world stage, then maybe what is happening in Iran is about what has to dissolve. And I think it's important to also add, be careful, all of us, that we don't take everything that we're told literally at face value. Because I was listening to the news earlier and they were saying about how terrible it was that a school was targeted in Iran. And what the commentator was saying is, but we haven't had that verified. It's not verified, and it is not the kind of target that wouldn't be targeted. They're targeting military installations and the heads of the regime. And so I think we have to be mindful of any information that comes out from Iran is potentially propaganda to make the aggressor, which is the US and Israel, look bad. I'm not taking sides either way. I don't like people that kill people. And the Ayatollah of Iran has been killing a lot of people in the most inhumane way. And so, there we go. Let me see. Russian die earthling, using it to create outrage. Yes, that is so true. Thank you, Jim. Yes, it is important to be aware not to buy into the rhetoric. Just because they say it on the news or we see it on Facebook doesn't mean it's true. We have to wait. It was like the rumors of the death of the Ayatollah were around from about late afternoon in Europe yesterday, and it wasn't actually verified till the early hours of this morning by the US administration but that would be because they would have had definitive proof. So remember, when we have an area with war, okay, just take everything with a pinch of salt, because everything that is said, shown to you, pictures, is part of the way wars are fought, won and lost. So be circumspect. Just wait until you get your evidence. Don't jump to conclusions. Yes, Poonam, do not buy into the rhetoric. Let the story unfold. Watch like an observer. That's right. It was at Akrotiri, Christine, was it? Yes, because the British have been intercepting missiles. Yes, they use it to create outrage. Yes, Shirley, use your discernment with the media. So I think we've also got to think about the fact that we've got the Saturn-Neptune separating now in Aries. So Saturn is forging ahead and really emerging with almost like a mission, a mission to bring some order into whatever chaos may be around, which is a hangover from what has been going on in Pisces. And we mustn't forget the backdrop, which of course is that Mercury retrograde in Pisces, and that stays in Pisces, and it's retrograde till I think it's about the 20th, and it'll stay in its shadow until, and I think it's about the 9th, 10th, 11th of April. So we've got quite a long period of time with that Mercury retrograde energy. It's dissolving things. It's allowing us to go back and actually check our facts. Make sure that we're not, like we were saying earlier, buying into the rhetoric. Make sure, as the observer, we are seeking the truth, which I think Saturn is endeavoring to uncover in Aries as Saturn moves full steam ahead into Aries. Now, we've got the eclipse on Tuesday, so I'm not going to say too much about that because I'm going to do my video tomorrow, but it's in Virgo. I think we have to remember it's a full moon, it's an eclipse. It brings change and endings. The one thing that I will say that I think is super interesting, and I heard this from Pam Gregory talking on one of her, I think actually, no, I read it on her Facebook, and she was saying that the midheaven of Iran's chart is at the same degree as the full moon in Virgo. And so that's like the fall of a leader. So it is interesting. It's fascinating. Hi, Sue NB. Just got home from grocery shopping. Good for you. Imagari, hello. Yes, we've only just started. Oh, yes, the pictures of the kitties. Did you enjoy them? My babies. When you're under attack, it is still very unnerving. Absolutely, Christine. I mean, it has crossed my mind. Am I safe here? I'm probably being dramatic, but, and then when I was hearing on the news yesterday that these ballistic missiles that Iran have can reach London, I thought, oh gosh, actually, that is worrying. I do think perhaps we need to stop them having those. So, oh, thank you, Simi. Thank you. Toby G, Manitoba, Canada. Hello. And you did ask something at the beginning about your daughter. I would say maybe things will get delayed because of the Mercury retrograde. So don't expect immediate results, or it may be that she gets called back to something. So don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Christine, what about the pink moon eclipse in conjunction of the previous eclipse? Yes, because they do link in, because we had the eclipse of the 17th, and that was in Aquarius. And now we have the pink moon eclipse, or the blood moon, which won't actually be visible in Northern Europe. I think it's visible in parts of North America. It's visible virtually everywhere except in Europe because it's happening in the morning. So it's the wrong time of day for us in Europe. So we won't see it. But the symbolism is that, I mean, I talked about this at the time. We had the new moon solar eclipse, followed by the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, and now completing this little set of sort of energies, we've got the Virgo full moon eclipse. And so there is a theme that is running through it. And I think it's interesting that the issues about the regime in Iran is what's come to the forefront. I think that, we mustn't take our eyes off anywhere if we want to see change or where change may take place, because it's very uncertain, the energy at the moment of which way it will go. And I think that, because Saturn and Neptune is so much about the dissolution of the old, and we've known this for a long time. Astrology has been talking for a long time about the fact that the old system has to change. It is about deconstructing the old ways of doing that. And just let me see what Tiffany Greer. Hello, Tiffany. Yes, blessings to you. Yeah, we pray for peace. And Christine, the UK can't defend against ballistic missiles. They don't have the equipment. However, Iran can get missiles there. That's right. I mean, that's pretty scary. No wonder the UK is staying quiet and saying, no, it wasn't us. We weren't involved. We didn't do it. Not me. So, Simi, I could use your advice on June 22nd. My sister is having eye surgery that day. It is necessary to correct damage to her left eye, but needs both done. Oh gosh, can you email me, Simi, and I'll just check, because I can't check now. It's a bit difficult, but just email me at penny@pennydix.com and tell me who you are, because I might not know you by your real name. And I'll just have a look around that energy, because at the moment I'm full of March. So let's move on, because then on the 6th of March, Venus will move into Aries. So we're starting to get this collection of energy in Aries. Is living these eclipses especially. Jim's saying Liz is living these eclipses especially. And that's okay, Simi, no problem. And Poonam, you've been hearing about dissolution this year from your Indian astrologers. How interesting. Sue NB. Yes, so right. So Venus will enter Aries. So here's our beautiful goddess of love, relationship, self-worth, money. Now, bearing in mind the nature and the climate of what's happening on the planet, anyone who has investments, don't freak out if the markets have dropped a bit tomorrow, because they could go down by like 2 points. That's 2 whole points, not just 0.2, but 2, because these kind of events rattle the brokers, because and institutions and governments and all the rest of it, because it comes down to oil. So because oil is going to go up, they think it's going to go up to $100 a barrel by tomorrow, and oil is not getting through the Straits of Hormuz. The ships are all blocked. They've been sort of blocked outside the Straits of Hormuz. This means that they can't get in or out of the Gulf region to either deliver or collect. So oil will go up. So you might see the gasoline you put in your car going up. You might see fuel bills, in the sense of heating bills, lighting bills, will go up. This is how it affects us in real time. So Yeah, gas will go up for sure. Yeah. So let's see. So then we on the 7th, the sun will be conjunct Mercury in Pisces. So remember, this is a retrograde Mercury. So that's, we've just got this energy that is, and actually the moon that day, it's really nice because the moon is actually trining the North Node. So actually that 7th of March that's next Saturday, I think, is quite a nice day. And there could be news that comes out next week referring to what has already been unfolding about a leader. Maybe by next Saturday, it will might become clearer as to what is going to be the state of affairs in Iran, in how is it going forward. Then we've got these lovely conjunctions between Venus and Neptune, and then Venus and Saturn. So Venus in Aries is first of all conjunct Neptune, and that's on the 7th as well. And then by the 8th, Venus is conjunct Saturn. So there's something here about this Venus energy is triggering whatever the Saturn-Neptune energy has been triggering on the world stage or in your own individual lives. So just be aware of that. Someone's got a birthday. Oh, it's your birthday, Imaguari, tomorrow. And Mars is moving into Pisces. Yes, you're in oceans of emotions, like Spoticus. Happy birthday. Happy solar return. How lovely with the Virgo full moon eclipse. So that's going to bring big changes for you. Fantastic. So I think because Venus is going to be conjunct both Saturn and Neptune, we're going to have this sense with when Venus is conjunct Neptune, confusion probably about the price of oil, about money markets. That's going to be what that confusion is about. And then when it's conjunct Saturn by the following day, which is next Sunday, I think it'll start to get a bit of clarity. It'll get clearer. We will have a better sense of where things are going. So then we have to move on to the 11th of March when Jupiter, that has been standing still forever in Cancer, finally goes direct. It'll still stay standing still for quite a while, but it's changing its direction. This is important, and this will bring a shift in energies. So again, it's a key date when we may see more information coming out about countries, homelands, leadership on a personal level, about family, where you're living, looking at living space, where am I going to move to? All those areas that you might be looking. See me, you're confused about everything going on in this confused world. I'm so confused. There was that lovely, I'm sure some of you remember Monty Python and loved Monty Python. There was a lovely song they did called I'm So Worried. I'm so worried about the state of the world. I'm so worried about the baggage retrieval they've got at Heathrow. There's just the lines in it are so bonkers, but I'm so worried about the baggage retrieval system they've got at Heathrow. And I'm so worried about everything that can go wrong. Anyway, I think that's where we all find ourselves at the moment. So yes, Christine, movement, absolutely, when Jupiter goes direct. And I will look at these in more detail when I do the weekly Wednesday Witter and the Sunday Live. So, and then we've got Mars conjunct the node on the 13th. I think someone gets their comeuppance at that point. That's all I'm saying. So we get, it's clear about where someone's going. So, and that's in Pisces. So yes, that's interesting. And then we've got on the 15th, we've got Mercury, our planet of communication, conjunct Mars in Pisces. So because of course Mercury is in retrograde, and so it's conjunct Mars in Pisces again. And so this is going to be more communication, more information coming out about the results of perhaps getting through some of the mist and fog of what's going on around maybe the Epstein files, maybe the situation in the Middle East, because I don't think there's any way of predicting, in all seriousness, how this is going to unfold or how long it will last, or whether the outcome is good or bad. I think ultimately my gut feeling, if you like, is it will all be okay. Okay. It reminds me of that lovely saying, everything will be all right in the end. And if it's not all right, then it's not the end. And I think that says it all, because everything will be all right in the end. And if it's not all right at the moment, it's because it's not the end. So, Liz the Iron Maiden, do not let all the craziness in the outer world make you feel fearful unless you are dealing with real problems you can't control. That is so true. Very good point, Liz, because all of this is out of our control. It will affect us because it will affect us in our pockets, in our bank accounts. That is where we're going to feel it, in the price of food, in the price of gas, in the price of our energy bills. That is where we will feel it. And Christine, the Middle East is still center stage. Yes, that's right. Steve Judd has said that. He said, hold on for April. And I think that's because what he's referring to is we get this buildup of energy in Aries in April, which is just going, we haven't had anything like this. 7 planets in Aries. That's just phenomenal. So, yes, absolutely, Jim. Agree with Liz. And, we will, let's see. So let's just move on a bit from this, because tempus fugit, as they say. New moon in Pisces is on the 19th, just before the spring equinox. I think that's quite interesting. And so the new moon in Pisces, and remember, because Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, there is something here also, I feel, about completion. So what completes, or what can we see the way through now with this new moon? And I also feel there's something about this new moon that brings in compassion and unexpected benefits, because with the new moon, Uranus in Taurus is actually sextiling this new moon in Pisces. And by this time, we've got Neptune, Saturn, Venus, and Chiron all in Aries. And Venus will be squaring Jupiter. But I'll go into that in more depth nearer the time. But I think that what it's saying is there are going to be some more twists and turns and unexpected developments that happen around the new moon on the 19th. And we have to be careful we don't overreact to what comes. And it's really using Saturn's ability to take time, to go slow, to just slow down and see where things are going. So let me see. Cosmic 3IA, even when you don't want to feel it, you do when you have loved ones in war zones. That is so true. That is so true. Janice, hello. You've had rain every day since the first week of January. Oh gosh, that's not fun. Now, then we've got the spring equinox, and this is when the sun enters Aries. So this is the build-up, beginning of the build-up, 20th of March. So the sun will move into Aries, and we will have Neptune at 1 degree, Saturn at 4 degrees, Venus at 17, the moon at 20 degrees, and Chiron at 25 degrees, Eris at 24 degrees, and also Ceres at 24 degrees. I mean, I'm exhausted just thinking about it. Christine, you're looking at flights, but no, I don't think any of us can get a flight anywhere at the moment. I think it's best to keep our feet on the ground at the moment. Oh, Christine's birthday. Oh, we're all going for Christine's birthday. Oh, fantastic. Let's all go for Christine's birthday. I love it. Right, now, big news again. On the 20th, the same day as the equinox, Mercury goes direct. So I think by the 20th, we'll start to just feel as if we've gone as far back as we can, and we can start just moving forwards a bit. And then the sun will be conjunct Neptune on the 22nd, again shedding light on that which is hidden. Jeffrey Epstein files to do with leaders, leadership, the sun. And then the sun will be conjunct Saturn on the 25th. And so I feel that is also about a leader slowing down, having to slow down, having to take time. There was an interesting thing I saw on Facebook today. You can tell what I do with my Sundays. But it was about that all the main world leaders are all over the age of 70. Most of them are at least 73 or older, including Putin. Trump, I think, is 79. The Ayatollah was 86. And there were a couple of others, Netanyahu, he's 73, I think. And, you know, these guys, they need to just give us all a break and step back and let the younger ones who've got wonderful, brilliant ideas about community spirit, integrity, honesty, and that they are not out for self-aggrandizement, if that's a word, aggrandizing themselves, that's it. That, you know, we've got younger people who are coming up. Do you know, something really wonderful happened in the UK last week, which was, and actually, I'm reminded because actually Steve Judd did mention this, but I'm going to mention it as well. A young woman who's only probably in her late 30s has won this by-election for the Green Party in a part of the Midlands. And she's won this by-election and she's a plumber. And isn't that refreshing? This is an ordinary, normal person who does ordinary, normal things, who's not interested in corruption or the money or anything of that nature. She just wants to make a difference. She believes in ecology and freedom and taking care of the planet, which is what we all should be doing. So, yes, dinosaurs, all the young people are becoming aware, boiling frogs. Oh, Jim, yes, it's your birthday soon, isn't it? Yeah, oh, of course, it's the equinox. Yes, because you're right at the end of Pisces. And then Venus will be conjunct Chiron on the 26th. And Venus then finally enters Taurus at the end of March. So the sign she rules. So what I'm going to do is, oh, that's right, Christine. And this Green Party candidate has also just qualified as a plasterer. I think it's brilliant. Perhaps you could bury some of the old ones. I mean, I have to say, I can't help it, but the UK government, I've never seen such weak, namby-pamby statements coming from a government about what is going on in the world. The Foreign Secretary today, I mean, I think he was as wilted as Keir Starmer's lettuce leaf. I mean, they were well past the sell-by date lettuce leaves, these guys. They're just so weak. And it was embarrassing. Anyway, See me. Yes, Penny, there has been a shift of thinking and opinions from the younger generations. Let them set their pace and maybe it'll be so much better. Absolutely. Hi, Vishka. Same over there. Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story because it's already 22/7 local time. And I'm going to tell you the story of Persephone, Demeter, who is also Ceres, and Hades, which of course we know is Pluto. So I'm going to tell you the story of this and how it weaves in with the astrology, because I think it's quite a good story to describe the backdrop, the scenery of where we find ourselves at the moment. And so, are you sitting comfortably? Because if you are, I'll begin. Poonam, are you sitting comfortably? Love story time. I love it, Jim. Yeah, it's story time. Right. So, once upon a time, we were in a beautiful meadow. Hello, Manuela. And Persephone, who's the daughter of Demeter, is gathering flowers, probably narcissus. The light is soft, the earth is fertile, everything appears calm, orderly, cultivated, tended, and secure. And then the ground opens, and without warning, the underworld claims her. This is a little bit like Uranus opening the jaws of death. And you could also say it's a little bit like the Virgo eclipse, where something has to go, something has to change. So the harvest that was happening on the earth stops. It just doesn't work anymore. And what seemed stable reveals a hidden fault line. Something we thought we possessed slips beyond our control. Now, Demeter, who you will know as Ceres, who is our goddess of grain and cultivation, she's the one who's in Aries at the moment, conjunct Chiron and Eris. And she's devastated because her daughter Persephone has gone missing. And she's desperate and she searches the earth looking for Persephone. She carries a torch. The crops fail because she's supposed to keep all the crops growing and the land from being barren. But the land grows barren, productivity ceases, crops fail. Virgo energy from that eclipse withdraws its labor. And of course, this is what happens when we have war. This is like the ground opened up, and Persephone, spring, which is all new things and hope and love and just growth, disappears. So we might feel with the full moon eclipse that something cannot continue as it has done. It's like a pattern reaches its limit. A truth rises like a crack in the soil. Persephone has no choice. She is taken down into the underworld with Hades, aka Pluto. Well, in the underworld, she encounters shadow. This is like Scorpio energy, power and inevitability. This is a touch of Mercury retrograde in Pisces, blurred messages, submerged truths. Does that remind us of anything? Epstein files? Clarity dissolved. We're moving through fog. We revise, we remember, we descend inward. Nothing moves quickly in the underworld. There is negotiation, there is reckoning, and there is a choice. Because what happens is Demeter does a deal with Pluto. She says, listen, please, the earth is dying. You have to return my daughter to me. Please allow me to have her back so spring can spring again and sprung. Spring has sprung. Well, Persephone finds out from Hades that he's going to return her to her mother. And she's thinking, hell no. I quite like it down here. I mean, it's actually quite awesome. Couldn't we kind of like arrange that I can come back? And anyway, she discovers that should she eat the seeds from the pomegranate, that these will make sure that she has to return to Hades every 6 months. And she thinks, oh, I think I might do that. So she takes the seeds of the pomegranate and then she bids farewell to her husband, Hades, or Pluto, and she returns to the overworld, to the arms of her mother, who, of course, is overjoyed to see her. And you see, when we go into the underworld, and this is a little bit how it is when we have an eclipse, we can't return to where we have been unchanged. So the old myths of power dissolve. So this is where Saturn and Neptune in Aries are just that layer underneath this story. So new assertions are forged, something initiatory is taking place. This isn't chaotic revolution, but irreversible maturation. Now, isn't it interesting? One could actually assign that to what is happening in the Middle East, that it's not so much about chaotic revolution, but about something that had reached a point of no return. And rightly or wrongly, the Iranian people have been given the opportunity to take matters into their own hands so that they can mature as a country. Because a lot of the people in Iran that are alive today know no different. They don't know what it was like when Iran had the Shah of Persia. They have no idea. They don't know what it was like under the original Ayatollah, Khomeini. So what I think will happen with all of this that's unfolding alongside the astrology of March is that when we come to the equinox, we reach the turning point. So be mindful of that timing. New moon in Pisces. We have Jupiter will be direct, and we also have Mercury going direct. So the equinox is when light and dark are equal. Demeter, Persephone's mother, she feels it. She senses it before she sees it. She senses that subtle shift in balance. And then the ground opens up and Persephone appears. And spring starts to show. The little seeds start to come up through the earth. The earth starts to thaw from the snows of winter, and the promise is restored. So we can also see the new moon in Pisces as when we plant quiet seeds in the dark, because Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac, It's about planting those seeds that Saturn and Neptune will help mature from Aries and through the rest of the zodiac, an initiated rebirth. So March isn't a month of simple beginnings. It's a month of descent and return. So Persephone has this bargain now, if you like, with the underworld. She will stay with her mother Demeter for 6 months of the year, but the other 6 months she has to return to the underworld because she ate the seeds of the pomegranate, because she tasted maturity and knowledge. She wanted more of that. She wanted the shadow. She wanted to have that integrated into her whole persona. So there's something about recognizing this month what we must release, allowing confusion before clarity, understanding that what disappears may actually be transforming below the surface. So that when we step into spring, what returns to us carries depth. Just as Persephone returns no longer a maiden of flowers, but queen of the underworld as well. So perhaps the real astrology of March isn't loss, but it's integration, not collapse, but correction. The earth opens so that something wiser may rise. There we go. That is my story for today. Let's have a look. Is it possible to translate video in French? Well, I don't know how to do it, but I'll try. But I don't know how. I don't know how to do that. Oh, good, Christine, you've got your cards out. I will certainly look into it, dear person from France, Eminidridi. I will do my best to find out how to do that. Isn't there some system on YouTube which is like an auto translate? Can't you? Isn't that? I don't know, because I'll have a look. I'll go into settings and see if there is something, but I think I'd already clicked on it. I thought I'd already gone to the YouTube's option for these things to be translated, but I'll check. So Poonam, wow, what a story. So apt in your own personal life too. Interesting. Okay, Eminidri, you are welcome. And I've completely forgotten all my French. Merci beaucoup. And oh gosh, I used to be able to speak a little bit of French, and now it's completely gone. You're very welcome, Boiling Frogs. Oh dear, I'm losing all your cards. Dark Night of the Soul. Well, it was, but Persephone discovered she quite liked it down there. Well, you know, it's very scorpionic, isn't it? So, 2 8s 3 is powerful people with strong willpower to correct what's wrong, with the Page of Pentacles working together to complete goals. Okay, so, right, let's just see. And I think Christine did. Oh, you've done an animal medicine giveaway. The turkey. Ho, brother turkey, so freely you give of everything that you are, so others may truly live. That's beautiful. Poonam, planting seeds in the dark feels so much like the dark night of the soul. And hi, Eminem, you must be a Scorpio. Leaves and gears. Yes, you were right. A few weeks back, my flight was delayed. Well, actually, I said that for Friday and Saturday. I said in the Wednesday, I said we could see aviation cancellations, problems, glitches. And I didn't know it was going to be because of what happened, but I did see that it was, or I didn't see it. What I do is, I think it's really important that we are clear about the difference between forecasting and prediction. Predicting means I'm just kind of almost like taking a lucky guess because I'm psychic or whatever and saying this is going to happen. Anything I say which is a forecast is based on my intuitive interpretation of the astrological energies. Mars square Uranus, for me, felt as if it was something to do with aviation because Uranus is aviation, Taurus, earth, oil. I think I even mentioned oil and oil prices, and Mars, the god of war. And the rest is easy. I watched the news. I knew that there was the potential for a strike on Iran. So I just want to demystify it a bit. I think it's really important to keep grounded with all these things because there's nothing magic or woo-woo about astrology. See me. You have the astrology to guide your predictions. That's right, see me. What was that? Cosmic 3i. I don't think you touched on that AI company that refused to give in to you. No. Oh, yes. No, I saw that. No, I didn't. I didn't know. Well, how could I know about that? You were talking about, yeah, I know. And it was pretty nasty, wasn't it? I thought, oh, I don't think I want to read that. Sure is Poonami. She's woo-woo, good at that. Shadow dwellers, the star, because we are not afraid of life's darker truths, like death or intense emotion. We simply are exploring the full depth of the human experience. Christine, Turkey was the medicine of many saints and mystics. Celebrate if you have it. How lovely. And so let's see what cards I get for that one, for the month of March. That one and that one. Okay, there's the first one. Two of Cups, agreement, contract. So we can take this on a personal level, or we can take it on the world stage, that something will be resolved and there will be an agreement and a commitment and a contract. That would be good, wouldn't it? So, maybe what's happening will turn out better than we fear. Who knows? So next we've got the Six of Coins. So maybe the financial markets won't be affected as badly as we fear, because certainly my logical head says the markets will drop tomorrow, and I think they will, realistically. But perhaps this is just saying that the recovery will be quite quick, because I think if they get things resolved quickly and the oil flowing and moving and shipping moving, because also remember this is trade. And the other thing that struck me is, because I noticed there's some people I know from Gozo who are in Thailand at the moment, and of course they're on holiday and they can't get back because the flights come through Dubai. So and Dubai's closed. And I just thought, this affects the whole planet, actually affects the whole planet. Well, I think there's some rebuilding going on. And the Three of Coins, these are actually quite good cards, because the three is rebuilding, is, actually making sure the structure is good, money being put where it needs to be put, and the money being available for, building structures. So my cards, and also I think because they are all the minor arcana, my feeling is they are saying this is up to us. Fate has already dealt her cards and her hand. She's given us the heads up, or the astrology, the astrological energies for which we can start using it. And the rest is up to us, which, of course, I have to say, fair enough. That let's just call it the American administration, has told the people of Iran, it's up to you. I'm giving you this opportunity, is what they've said. But let's just be clear about this. There are no free lunches. This hasn't been done out of the goodness of his heart, because we know there has to be something in it for him. So I think it's important to just say that. Let me see what you're saying before the billionaire class, Tiffany, aren't sending their families to fight. Of course they're not. Of course they're not. Because they can get special dispensation. The Star, 81 watching, 26 likes. Don't forget to like the stream. Oh, bless you. Thank you. Someone keeping an eye on the stats. Yes, remember, like, comment, subscribe, and share, and all of that. And yes, listen, Cosmic 3IA, you pulled the mirror card, means that our friendships reflect a part of ourselves. Who can support us when needed, help us to grow, especially towards our goals, sharing, accompanying each other. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm pronouncing your name all wrong, Emina Driddy. As you are a Taurus, have you felt very harsh vibrations due to Uranus? Yeah, it's been wonderful. I absolutely have loved it. It's been the energy I needed to bring about the massive change I am bringing into my life, which is to uproot from Gozo and relocate to the UK. I know people say to me, why do you want to go to England? Long story, too long for here. But I do, and I am, and I'm going, and I'll be there for the second half of the year and probably for the rest of my life. So that's how Uranus has been with me. So Uranus really has finished with my natal sun now, because my natal sun is 24 degrees of Taurus, and Uranus is now, I think it's at 27 or 28 degrees Taurus. So even it's still in orb. Have you got Eminem? Have you got your sun in Gemini, for instance? Is that why you're thinking that you're going to have Uranus coming up to your sun? Just curious. And Poonam, Simi's gone, has she? Bye, Simi. Have a wonderful week. And Cosmic, Shirley, Uranus leaves on your birthday. Oh, right. Yes, the 21st of April. Emindridi, you were very destabilized by being a Euro ascendant. I also have the square of Pluto, which is very difficult for us Taurians. I've got Sun Pluto square natally, which is quite challenging, but I'm over it now. Okay, so you're another Taurus like me. Okay, right. Okay, got it. That's great. I love that, Kay Ulrich. It's all about him. It's the way it always has been. I can't think who you're talking about. Jim, do you know who she's talking about? Oh dear. Listen, guys, I hope you've got a sense of what to expect in March. I think, listen, get the popcorn, sit back, keep an eye on what's going on, watch some good videos, some good films, series. Just if you're in any of the danger areas, please, 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 please do as your local authorities advise you and stay safe. And still, if you are watching, my love, even if it's on catch up, know that we are all with you, sending you so much love and protection, and we're on your side. So I think that's important to say. Yes, Cosmic 3IA, fill up your car now. Yeah, have a great week, everyone. I've got another busy week, so oh dear, I'm going to have an early night tonight. I'm absolutely knackerood. So listen, guys, take care. That's March. There we go. That's March. I'll be back next Sunday doing the live week ahead. Tomorrow, I'm going to record the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo and upload that to the channel. And on Wednesday, I will do my midweek Astro Witter. So have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye, Shirley. Lovely to see you here. Thank you, everybody. And you're all awesome. And I love you. Bye for now. Bye.